Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back. We got another race reaction, and what a night of racing we had there. Dallas here, round 7, and I mean, this is absolute insanity. I'm just getting text messages that are like unreal, insane, can't believe it. Been texting all sorts of group chats all night. That was nuts. If you guys haven't watched this race, go back and watch it because everything start to finish, from heat races to some of the LCQ stuff to the main events, were just absolute insanity here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. My name is Travis. If you guys don't know, I host the Moto Aftermath show, and this is our race reaction video. We put these up right after the race, and we're going to do my immediate thoughts and reactions here to the Dallas Supercross. I don't even know which one to start with, because there were both races, both mains were so action packed. So I guess we'll just fire off with the typical stuff. We'll go with the 450s first. So what an absolutely epic night. You have all of the top guys outside of basically Jet, AP, and Webb are down on the first lap or in the first 2 laps. You've got Ando and Barsha go down right off the start. You've got Tomac overjumps a triple, almost flips himself over the berm in the first lap. And then you've got Roczen gets squeezed off by Freeze, and Mookie runs over him and ends up on the ground. And all these guys ride absolutely excellent to come back. Roczen and Mookie both came back to inside the top 10. Ando, I believe, made it back to inside the top 10. And then Tomac, I don't know if they found something in testing. I don't know if Tomac found something internally, but that was a beast mode ride. And it's concerning in a sense for these other guys, because obviously I'm a Jet guy. You all know this if you guys have seen any of these. If not, I'm one of those Jet homers. But the thing is Tomac looked great tonight. He's now got obviously a spark. Next week's Daytona, which is kind of his house. I mean, this could start to build pretty quickly. And there was a comment he made on the podium that really kind of made me go, uh-oh, this could be bad. And this may not be the last season we see Eli Tomac. He's like, I'm tired of people saying I'm the old guy. Oh boy. I will tell you, coming from a 35-year-old, when people start to call you the old guy, it's not always the best. And sometimes you just want to swing your dick around and prove them wrong. And if that's the case with him, and they get that bike under control where he likes it, which I'm not sure it's been that way to start the year here, we could be in for some Eli Tomac dominating rides here, much like we saw tonight. I mean, he was flying. He was 2 seconds a lap faster than people for the last 10 minutes of that race. It was unbelievable. So, Cooper Webb gets the win, 6th win in like 10 races he's done at Arlington, which is an absolute insane stat. He didn't look good in qualifying. He didn't look particularly great in the heat. But then in the main, gets a start, just clicks off laps, and is just in the most opportune position. Now, you could make the argument, and I will make the argument, and for argument's sake, would he have won had Jet made a better line selection through the whoops there and not ran into Freeze? I don't know, because Jet was right there, okay? But either way, you know, potato, he won. He won. No matter what I want to say, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, he did win the race. So, which was absolutely intense to see. Jet leads almost the whole thing, looks great, ends up getting a little cross rut, takes out a tough block, gets up, recovers nicely with bent bars and everything, and then ends up, as a Jet homer, most of you would probably expect me to just come on here and just mother F Freezy into oblivion, and I'm actually not going to do that. That was on Jet. Jet made a shitty line selection going through the whoops. He chose to run a line that would run him right up to the back of the lapper. Freeze held his line. He was going down that side of the whoops. He was doing everything that he should have been as far as, you know, being a lapper. Now, could you argue a little bit like, a really good lapper, a really good rider would have a little bit better awareness. They would know there's a battle for the lead coming because they'd have been looking around a bit, and there would have been a bit of awareness, and then move just completely off the track, especially in the whoops. Yeah, you could argue that. But personally, I'm not going to put the blame on Freeze. That was on Jet. He needs to make better line selections. And the thing is that we're all, myself included, sitting here kind of, I guess, shitting on Jet of, oh man, he's not dominating, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. Well, he does this screw up. He's still got a 3-point lead. He's still going to have the red plate going into next week. It's just, for a rookie season, it's going excellent for him in a sense. But because the bar is set so high, it doesn't look as good as I think we all think it should. So it's not perfection. It's not podium every single race and just ride your laps and essentially Ryan Dungey it, but maybe with more wins or something. So I don't know. Again, it's not quite the rookie season that even I pictured Jet having, but it's not a disaster. It's just not the perfection we saw in outdoors. So, whatever. Like I said, Tomac, great ride. They're all in trouble with him. Webb gets the win. AP is on another level right now. AP is just flying. He's absolutely flying. And, he is realistically we're going to get to the end of the series, and he's going to be right there with all the big dogs. Ken's bad luck kind of continues with going down. Again, nice rebound ride, gets back in the top 10 there. Heat Race Mookie showed up, which was pretty cool to see. He's showing speed, especially since Craig is out because his elbow's flaring up, so who knows what's going on with that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in 450s I really wanted to touch on. Barcia's career's over. This will be the end of him riding professional motocross and supercross. And I'll tell you this right now. It's because, and maybe it won't be the end of his career, but this is the last season you'll see him on gas because he is basically throwing them under the bus as far as the bike goes, and we'll touch a lot more on this on the main show. But just it is a fucking disaster for Barcia right now. So I think that's all I got for 450s here, at least for the reaction show. I mean, it's wild, it's crazy. Jet's got a 3-point lead. We've got the top 7 are still within 20 points after 7 rounds, which is just absolutely nutty. Dylan Ferrandis kind of got screwed tonight. I don't know what happened with his handlebars there. You could see him, they were loose, so I don't really know. But, they're, whatever, it is what it is. Moving on to 250s. Again, wild night of racing, okay? Deegan gets his first win. And, Deegan can just never really stay out of controversy, per se. I said it before, and I said it again. I'll say it again. The wrist injury was much worse than what he led on to. Like, he does the interview preseason. Hey, my wrist is, we took a week off. Then I'm getting pictures sent to me literally in between qualifying sessions of his wrist, and you can clearly see the scar where it's been cut open and stitched back together. And then I'm getting updates from other people who are on Snapchat, which I'm not. They're like, yeah, on his Snapchat, there's literally been x-rays of like a plate and screws in his wrist. Like, his wrist was jacked. So anyway, he looks fine. Okay. In the heat race there, when he kind of went after Faulkner, dumb move. I don't know what you were doing. You weren't really close enough to do it. You're just going to center punch Faulkner. Like, I understand that you're trying to win this title. That's cool. And you're willing to put it all out there. David Goggins status. That's cool. But maybe that's a little bit of the kid and the rebel rouser inside of him, I think, making moves like that. So I'm here for it. It gives me something to talk about. I'm going to title this video something that has to do with Deegan, because let's face it, you guys will all click it. You're all going to say it's clickbait, even though it's something I say about him, and piss and moan about it, but you're still going to watch it, which puts money in my pocket. So guess what? Welcome to the shit show. Y'all talk about Jet getting shoved down your throats. Deegan's getting shoved down your throats on this channel because I mean, it's a money machine. So if you don't like that, sorry. We talk about a ton of other stuff, and you can skip around the 15, 20 minutes a week. We'll talk about Deegan and just, whatever. But he rode really well. He did the ghost ride after the finish, which was awesome. Okay. That was sick. It was cool to see him win. I kind of talked about it in a group chat with Justin and them, and I'll talk about it again tomorrow on the show too. It's hard for me to see him not win this title. And that's because I don't know of anybody else in this group here outside of possibly Max Anstey that can hold it together. We all saw Forkner 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. He looked great. The first 10 minutes of this main tonight, he looked like a changed dude. Didn't look like he was pushing. Didn't look like he was running that ragged edge. Everything. But, as we've seen here, luck plays such a big factor. And this is why I think Kitchen on the West is going to win that title. This is strictly because the guys that they're going against, you look at RJ, you look at Smith, you look at Forkner, they have no luck. I mean, look, that crash that Forkner had was absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. And realistically shouldn't have happened, okay? Like, the only reason that happened is because of of luck. Like, he just landed perfectly on top of that little step thing and pressed into the face of that next one, which just immediately compressed and rebounded those forks instead of soaking it up, and just ejectocito, cuz. And I mean, that was brutal. Watching that, absolutely brutal. So that was, I mean, dude, I was getting text of, man, that was scarily reminiscent of when Webb did that off the Dragon's back in Arlington. I mean, that was brutal. I hope he's okay. Man, we're talking concussion for sure, because when he hits the ground, you could just see his body go limp, like ragdoll. That's full-blown sign of concussion. Whatever is going on with shoulder, neck, any of that stuff, because he just landed right up here. I don't know, man. I hope he's okay. I hope we see him back before the year's out here. I hope it's not serious. But I don't think we see him next week, to be honest with you. I would be highly surprised. That was terrible to watch. It was terrible to watch. Like I said, you got Max Anstey as a red plate now. He's pretty solid, in my opinion. I just don't know if it's 9 rounds. I haven't gone back and looked at last year's results to kind of see where he was all year. But then again, last year he was going against Hunter Lawrence, so what are you going to do, right? So yeah, but he has the red plate, which is crazy. Deegan picks up his first win, which is crazy. Deegan rides super good. I mean, he was reeling Forkner in there, and then Forkner has this horrific crash, and then you've got McAdoo, you've got Hammaker, you've got Dax podiums the first rounds, then the LCQ, and not really doing shit this week. I mean, everything's all over the place at this point. Everything's all over the place, and the winner of all this is us. So comment down below what you guys thought about this. I'm sure there's tons more that I didn't get into that y'all are going to slay me on. I'm trying to just hit some major points in the race reaction. That was absolutely crazy. I can't even process all of it right now. It was so nuts. But again, comment down below with what you guys saw, what you guys thought, all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, we'll be back for the main show. So make sure to tune into that, because I'm sure me and Justin and Cole are going to argue. We've already been arguing through the group message here about all sorts of different things having to do with Deegan and Jet and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks to our sponsors, 50 Graphics, Complete Racing Solutions, TLR Coatings, Gutter Worx, Holster Co., Isaac Nelson Designs, and make sure to check out the main show on Tuesday. Later.